Niio Analog, a synthesizer company based in Colorado, correct? And Don, you make rack-mount synthesizers. Can you show us what it is that you have here?
Sure, I can show you. So it's pretty much everything but the oscillators, and you run external sound through it.
Oh, okay.
So it's probably more correctly thought of as an external filter unit, but it allows you to selectively saturate different frequency bands or the entire sound in multiple layers to create a very dense, compact sound that dynamically follows the audio you're feeding into the unit. And this is the fourth revision of the Dioton core. So it's fairly refined at this point, and just a lot of fun to use, and a nice creative tool.
I can't help but notice that it's rack mount. Is this designed for modular levels or for, like line level stuff?
It's line level, but you can also patch modular into it.
Oh, okay, so it's got enough headroom to be able to handle both.
Yeah, it's plus or minus 15 volts.
Oh yeah, it's got enough headroom.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, so plus or minus 15, it sounds like audio quality is probably an important part of your design consideration.
It's a huge, important part. Yeah, I spent a lot of time running lots of audio through it and really trying to maximize every circuit.
Wow. There is an awful lot there. Tell me, what are some things that people use your module for?
Running drum machines through it, synthesizers through it. I just had a band mix an entire album with it, and they said they put every synthesizer and every guitar, every driven sound through it.
I'm a sound designer by trade. Do people ever run dialogue through it, or
I don't know? It'd be you could. It'd be very interesting.
I'd be really curious to hear what that would sound like.
Like an industrial singer,
or
like screaming through it would be super intense.
Oh yeah.
And you can use it very subtly as well.
Sure. I would be interested in putting sampled explosions and sampled rocks dropping on the ground through it, and seeing what I could do to be able to change it so that it was completely not recognizable as what it originally was.
Oh, absolutely, because you can layer analog distortion or overdrive. Okay. And I call them saturations because you can use them in varying amounts of intensity over frequency bands or the entire sound in varying amounts. So you could really, shape those sounds that you're talking about.
Very cool. So I see that you have two voltage controlled filters here. Is the notion that you can use them in series or in parallel?
There's actually three.
Oh, okay.
So these feed saturation circuits.
I see.
These two layers, and then there's a post layer as well.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you can use them in series or all in parallel.
And all right, well, can you just go through and tell me what all the different things are? You've got an envelope. Is that an LFO, or is that like an envelope follower?
These are audio triggered. This is an audio triggered envelope with a threshold. So you trigger it with your audio waveform coming in.
Yeah.
Attack, release times, trigger, hold time. Then you have an envelope follower. So both are following the audio.
Yeah.
So the whole system is conforming to the audio you're putting into it.
Right on.
But of course, you could always put in an external kick drum and then put a synth through this, so the synth would be following the kick.
It would be key to what's going on in the kick drum.
Absolutely.
That's cool.
Because then you can modulate the filter frequency and the amplitude level, at least on the two main channels, from the modulators. And you really can get it to very tightly move along with the audio you're running through the unit.
Wow.
And you can selectively saturate or not, or just run the filter straight through.
Interesting.
So you create multiple layers within your sound, and they're all moving independently and conforming to the sound that's running through it. And it just becomes
really
this very intense, dynamic, it's a very animated. It becomes a very animated sound processor.
And then what do you have on the end? What's the last stage?
It's the post section. And it's another analog filter that can follow either channel or both channels, or either input parallel, as well as a division circuit where it's dividing the outputs of these saturators. So it's a very harsh distortion, but you can filter it. And then you have an octave generator where it creates a square wave octave 1, 2, or 3 octaves down, which is also harsh, but you can filter that as well.
That's really cool. And I see that you also have a mono channel over here.
Well, it is. I haven't started selling it yet. It's it's called mono. No, it's developed. I just kind of put it off. It's a mono input, stereo output, single mono filter where you can modulate the frequency or the Q. Dry filtered mix. It also pans, and you have control over the VCA from 3 analog modulators, which are also following the sound. But it's interesting because I made it so it can bend the frequency on either side versus the center, as well as dip in volume versus the center in different ways. So you really get this very organic, animated, moving sound across the stereo field.
It's very cool.
It's just moving along.
Yeah.
And it's like super fun to play with, and it's very natural and organic.
It sounds great. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Do you know when this model's going to be released?
Now.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it can be released at any point. I just got sidetracked with the new IO10 Core. I had to get that out. So.
I get it.
Yeah.
So tell me what the mono is going to sell for and what the IO10 Core sells for.
The IO10 Core sells for $1,500 US dollars.
All right.
And mono will most likely be $1,200.
$1,200 or so?
Yeah.
And where can people get it?
Either direct or from, well, it depends on where you're at.
Right.
As far as dealers. The website has dealers.
So if you go to the website, you can find different places
yes, you
in
can.
Europe and the States. And speaking of, what is your website URL?
niioanalog.com.
Very good. Yeah. Well, this looks awesome. Go out and check it out. It looks pretty great to me, I have to say.
All right, very good.
Don, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great Superbooth.
Yeah, no, it's busy.